This is artist Sonia Walker, and this is a follow-up on the challenge between myself and my brother, the Gullahsmith. We have decided to continue with the challenge. This is my next video in that challenge, so just look forward to seeing what we come up with next. It's not ending now. This is a commissioned pencil piece. And right now, I am trying to figure out my values in the drawing that would match up with the values in my reference. In some areas you can see that are darker, I'll use a darker pencil lead to achieve a darker gold. Or I'll use a stump to get it darker. This is a stump, which is basically compressed rolled paper. You can use a stump to create shadows and different tones in a drawing, but sometimes I can't get what I'm trying to achieve with a stump, so I'll go back and forth between a pencil lead or a stump, or in some cases a paintbrush. This is an old paintbrush that I don't use anymore to paint with because the hairs are frayed and you can't get much control with using the brush like this on a painting. So it can serve another purpose, and that is helping me achieve different tones with a pencil drawing. So in this area, I am trying to get a little darker, but not too much darker. I can use the hairs of a soft paintbrush to achieve that. And it's just finding the different tones and different values when you go back and forth between a pencil lead or a stump or a brush or whatever you find useful. You know, it depends on the artist and what they're trying to achieve and what they're comfortable with. So right here, I'm trying to create a little bit more values, a little bit more tones. And sometimes I can get what I want with a paintbrush and not with a stump or pencil lead. I'm using this paper to rest my hands on because our bodies secrete oil, and oil will attract dirt. And leaning on your artwork, you will attract oil and dirt. So you have to find a way to protect your artwork by having some way to lean on it. If you're working on a flat surface, or even if you're working on an upright surface, like an easel, you still need to have some type of barrier between you and the artwork. Or you will end up having signs of you on your artwork. So with this piece, I wanted to create different facets of the individual that I am drawing. Here in the left corner, I did a quick sketch of a front view of the subject. Here is a side view or a profile view of her. I have two other smaller sketches of the subject in the lower right hand and left hand corner. But right now, I'm working on the largest drawing, which is in the center and the focal point of the piece. Sometimes I end up making matters a little bit more complicated when they don't have to be. It usually feels like a complicated puzzle that you're trying to figure out, trying to place each piece where it needs to go, and the more pieces you put together, the more it comes to life. This is a larger stump. I've had it for years. And sometimes it can act as a pencil tool where you can draw out or map out some direction of where you're trying to go. So you can take that same stump and start creating shapes, giving it some tones and some values. In fact, I can see the nose taking shape right here. Just from using the stump, you can get shading in. So it depends on where I am in the process of the drawing. That determines what I will do with the drawing. Just continue to use the stump until I'm satisfied with where it's taking me. So here you can see I am making some progress with the drawing. I've used the pencil, the stump, and the paintbrush to create different tones and different values in the drawing. And here I'm using the stump to push some darker tones because it works a lot better than the pencil sometimes. Just to get some darker tones. Sometimes the pencil would leave a reflective light on it, on the surface, as you can see here, with some trying to push it darker, which I don't really care for. But as you can see, I have made some progress. Here's a lower right-hand corner drawing that I'm working on, but it is coming together, making a little bit more progress than I thought it would look like. These are pencil shavings. I have 7B and 2B. I usually shave my pencil edges to use these with my paintbrush to create different tones, different values in the drawing. So what I do is take this brush, I dip it in the darker tone or the lighter tone, whatever one I'm working on, and I use it to push the different values in a particular area that I'm working on. Here is the hair, which is a darker value, a darker tone that I'm trying to push or create here. Little stubborn piece right here won't behave. So I'll dip the brush again, gather up some more pencil lead or pencil shavings and use it to create the darker tone in the hair. I've used it on both sides. The 7B is the darkest lead that I have for this particular piece, but I've used darker leads. I have a dark one as dark as 9B, but the shavings work well. It saves me a little time to just dip the brush in and create the shadows on the picture and just push it a little darker. So I just take my time. Here is a lighter area I'm working on. Probably dipped it into the 2B. And I usually work on one area at a time, but I find myself now going from side to side or whatever area moves me. If I have the same darkness on one side that's on the other side, I'll move back and forth from side to side until I've got the tones completed in the area that I'm working on. In this particular case, it's the hair. Pushing them dark tones in the hair and on the cheekbones. This brush saves me a lot of time, a lot more than using the pencil. So I usually go back and forth between all three, the pencil, the paintbrush, and the stump. So whatever works for you is what you use. You have to be comfortable with your tools. Okay, this image gave me a little bit of problem. Here I'm trying to put the folds in her hair where it goes, and just trying to figure out the pattern, the shape of the where each fold goes. And when I get stuck, I try to figure it out, and then I might go to another area and figure that out. If I'll stay on the hair, I'll go to the face, try and figure out the structure of the jawline, or I might hop to the nose, trying to see where the shadow goes. And whatever is the easiest part of the puzzle to figure out, I'll do that. And just hop around all over the place until I get a feel for how it goes. But this was my difficulty on this particular piece. But all in all, it works out, and I eventually get it, as you will see later in the video. Okay, we've gotten a lot done so far. This is the top right hand corner. I did not document the process, but as you can see, it's completed. The focal piece has the majority of it completed. I'm liking how it's turning out. This is the lower right hand corner. Did not document this either, but it's completed. And you saw me working on some of this. Is coming together slowly but surely. Still struggling with the hair, but I'll get there. In this top left hand corner, I have to go and work on that one. But overall, I'm liking what it's looking like, and we shall be done shortly, so look forward to how it turns out. Unfortunately, I didn't record this one being drawn. Neither did I do the top one. But sometimes filming or taking the time to capture what I do takes a lot more time than actually drawing. So sometimes I just want to get into the piece and get it drawn, and then come back and document what I can later. But overall, I really like how these faces turned out. I took more time than I wanted to take, but overall, I like the feel of what it's looking like. And we shall see what it looks like once I put the mat on top of it. So stay tuned. And here we have it, the finished piece. And this is what it looks like with a mat on top of it. I haven't secured the mat down, but just wanting to see what it looks like on top of it. And if you haven't guessed it by now, this is a pencil drawing of our Vice President, Kamala Harris. This is a commission piece by a person who has collected my work in the past, and they seem to like my pencil drawing, so I was asked to create a picture of Kamala Harris, and I'm sure they only just wanted one image, but in my crazy mind, I always have to try and go overboard. They did not ask me for this collage of Kamala, but I wanted to do something special and created this different facets of Kamala. So this was the piece that I was working on while I was doing this challenge with my brother Gilbert, the blacksmith, the Gullahsmith. And I was working on this one. He was working on one piece of artwork too. And I'm sure he's going to show his finished piece to you all. So tell me what you think. Give me some feedback on this piece. Also, this video is for my YouTube channel, Sonia Walker Creations. If this is your first time on my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that like button if you like the video. All of this helps me with continuing to do what I like to do. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.